So, good morning, students. Dr. Math is back, and we're gonna deepen our knowledge in solving sine functions. We're gonna start with simple ones. We're gonna start with this one. Sine of x equals negative square root of 3 over 2. So I'm gonna write it down. Sine of x, sine of x equals negative square root of 3 over 2. Now we could definitely use the calculator to solve this equation, but and we will. But also, I would like you to look at the unit circle to try to find where the sign is negative, right? Because this is negative square root of 3 over 2. Where is it negative? Remember that on the unit circle, the left side is positive, the right side, the left side is cosine and the right side is sine. So this stands, so all this will be sine. Sine, this will be sine of 60, this would be sine of 45, this would be sine of 30, right? So as you can see, all these are positive. What about in the second quadrant? In the second quadrant, we also see that the sign is positive. While if we look at the third and the fourth quadrant, we see that we have negative values for sine in here and in here, right? So but where is it negative square root of 3 over 2? So if we look, we see that here we have negative square root of 3 over 2, and here also negative square root of 3 over 2. So then that means that we have two solutions. One of them is going to be 240 in degrees, or 5 pi over 3 in radians. And the other solution that we're going to have is this one, which is 300 in degrees, or 5 pi over 3 in radians. Now, I would like you also to have a look at how to do it with a calculator. If we do it with a calculator, turn it on, and we do, see, make sure that you see it. So we do inverse sine of negative square root of 3 over 2. Now the calculator is set in degrees, and we get negative 90. So look at that. The calculator doesn't give you neither 240 nor 300. Instead, it gives you this angle here. It gives you this one here only, actually, right? So this is negative 60 degrees, right? And I know that it's negative 60 because when we have 300, we still have 60 to go to arrive to 360, to a full circle. So just to make sure that you understand that the calculator just sometimes might give you a negative degrees. That's not wrong. It's just that it's another way to look at it, right? So you have to get used to different types of ways of getting these answers. And again, if you don't like the negative, what you can do, it just you can add 360 to the negative 60 for round 360, and you're gonna get 300, right? I would also like you to see here how this is represented in this website, in the Math is Fun. And remember that the sine is green, the cosine is blue. So if I keep moving this, and I'll go to 240, which actually was 240 was one of the solutions, right? Here we go. And we get negative 0.86, which is actually negative square root of 3 over 2. Okay, now this is the sign. Okay, where do we find an equal sign? In here, right? So that's also going to be, this is also going to be at 300. We're going to have exactly the same solution. Okay. Another way to look at this is using Desmos, and you can also use Desmos. You can also grab this, and here we go. We have, sorry, I have a mistake here because that's a positive. This is a positive. This is a positive here. Here I have it written, but I made a mistake. This should be a negative, right? So here we go. So here I have the two solutions. At 240 degrees, I have negative square root of 3 over 2. And also I have another answer for 300. And this keeps repeating. Okay, these two solutions keep repeating every 360. Every 360. And that's what I'm going to write right now on my solution. Okay, so the way I'm going to write the solution, it's like this. The way to solve it, it's okay, what do I have to do here to solve this? I have to take arc sine both sides, right? When I do that, this vanishes because arc sine is actually the opposite operation of taking a sine, so it just cancels out, and then I'm just going to have an arc sine in this side. So it will be the same as this will go to the other side as arc sine of negative square root of 3 over 2, right? And then I get from this, I get two solutions, right? One of them would be, as we said, 240 plus 360 because it repeats every 360. Or, as we said, the other answer was 300, right? 300 plus 360 times n. It repeats every 360. So it's just, we have two answers for x, right? And this actually, this n means that n belongs to the integers. So it means that it can be negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. It goes forever, right? I can also, if we don't like to express this in degrees, we can also do it in radians, right? So I could also solve this this equation in radians, and instead of writing 240, I'm going to write 5 pi over 3, and instead of writing 300, I'm going to write 5 pi over 3. So that would be, if I want to express it in radians, this would be as we said, 4 pi over 3 plus 2 pi, because 2 pi, it's a full circle in radians, right? And then the other one, it was 5 pi over 3 plus 2 pi times n, okay? Where n belongs to the integers, okay? So if you want to check, remember that you can convert from degrees to radians. You could do 300 times pi over 180, okay? And if you simplify this fraction, okay, and you do 300 over 180, you can do it with a calculator, and you're gonna see that you get 5 pi over 3. Okay, so that's it for now, and soon you're gonna have the next video.